connection. We're talking about mythology. There's also a New Testament connection, and we dealt with it a little yesterday. In fact, sort of two connections here. Remember yesterday we talked about Lydda, and the fact that Lydda is the nearest town to the airport. Well, the New Testament tells us there was a soldier called Cornelius who came from Lydda, from the airport, and he came to find Peter in Joppa. And Peter had been here, and you'll hear about that in a moment from a person who is more in the line of business of telling you about New Testament stuff than me. And Peter wasn't here when Cornelius came, and I just wanted to say the next place, or the next major place that we go to after Tel Aviv, we'll connect up with these two other places that say Peter went from here to Caesarea, and it is there that Cornelius found him. So, and that will be the next place we go to visit. So you've got a triangle there of Lydda, Joppa, and Caesarea. Let's hear about where Peter stayed in Joppa from Mike.
คือเขาบอกว่าใน
Yehuda just mentioned that we're going to be going from Jaffa up to Caesarea after we get done with Independence Hall, but it's about 30 miles, isn't that about right? 30 miles, Yehuda? A little less. So when we get to Caesarea, I got a lot more I want to say about that, but you know, Peter was here at Simon the Tanner's house, and some men came down from Caesarea to take him up to see Cornelius. But it's interesting too that this is really kind of where things started, moved up to Caesarea. But as far as the gospel going out to the Gentiles, and I'll save and talk more about that when we get up to Caesarea. But the other thing I find fascinating too is that Peter was a dedicated Jew, and what's that? Oh, the grill kosher. So Jonah, when he was commanded by God to go preach the message to the Ninevites, and of course Yehuda could tell you about the feelings that the Jews had about the Ninevites or the Israelites, but it wasn't a very good one. And so we all know that Jonah got in the boat here at Joppa and was going to go to Tarshish, which is Spain, basically the route our plane flew over to get here. And interestingly enough, he was told to go preach to the pagans, to the Gentiles, and he went the opposite direction. And here's where Peter was given the initiative to go up to Caesarea to share the gospel with the Gentile. And so you can ask yourself if that's just coincidence or, you know.
God's plan. Coming back to Peter, and you remember on the roof of Simon the Tanner's house, here, maybe you noticed the restaurant that said kosher on the right. We talked about kosher. Here is the split with eating what the Jews said was non-kosher, and he is told to eat, and he says, "I don't eat food that is not clean." Peter was told that don't worry about that. That is superficial. And so there, from then onwards, you've been eating pork and shrimp, and we still can't eat.